In September 1942, Vasily Zaitsev, Jude Law, a shepherd from the Ural Mountains who is now a soldier in the Red Army, finds himself on the front lines of the Battle of Stalingrad. Stalingrad is the last major city standing between the rampaging German forces and Moscow. Khrushchev orders the city to be held at all costs. Stalingrad as a city stands in ruins, as neither army is willing to retreat. If Germany wins Stalingrad, they will control the rich oil fields of Central Asia. Troops are brought to the other side of the Volga River in freight trains, and are then crammed into flimsy boats, and are made to cross the Volga River without any fire cover. The Volga River is heavily bombarded by German artillery fire and fighter planes. Several boats perish in the attempt. Any soldiers who attempt to jump into the water are shot down by the propaganda officers who are on each boat. The docks of Stalingrad are littered with bodies of soldiers crippled in the war. Soldiers are forced into a suicidal charge without a rifle, but with ammunition. Half the soldiers were given a rifle, and the other half were given one pallet of ammunition with 5 bullets and were instructed to scrounge for supplies from other dead soldiers. The charge comes under heavy German fire from machine guns and tanks around the city. If the Soviet soldiers try to retreat, they are shot down by their own seniors who do not allow them to return to Soviet lines. The German loudspeakers ask Soviet soldiers to surrender, as the Germans would treat them better than their own officers. Vasily hides among a pile of corpses, while a tank shell incapacitates a car. The occupant, Commissar Danilov, takes cover in the same heap of corpses and finds a rifle. Vasily reveals himself, advising the commissar not to fire until an explosion covers the noise. Danilov gives the rifle to Vasily, who, to the former's astonishment, is able to kill 5 German soldiers in less than a minute. Vasily uses impressive marksmanship skills taught to him by his grandfather from a young age to save himself and Commissar Danilov, Joseph Fiennes. Together, Vasily and Danilov return to the Soviet base outside Stalingrad. Nikita Khrushchev, Bob Hoskins, arrives in Stalingrad to coordinate the city's defenses and demands ideas to improve morale. While the other commissars suggest more severe discipline and terror, Danilov, now a senior lieutenant, suggests that the people need figures to idolize and publishes tales of Vasily's exploits in the army's newspaper that paint him as a national hero and propaganda icon. Vasily is transferred to the sniper division, and he and Danilov become friends. They also both become romantically interested in Tanya, Rachel Weiss, a citizen of Stalingrad who has become a private in the local militia. Danilov has her transferred to an intelligence unit away from the battlefield, and ostensibly to make use of her German skills in translating radio intercepts. With the Soviet snipers taking an increasing toll on the German forces, German Major Erwin Koenig, Ed Harris, is deployed to Stalingrad to take out Vasily and thus crush Soviet morale. A renowned marksman and head of the German Army Sniper School at Zosin, he lures Vasily into a trap and takes out 2 of his fellow snipers, but Vasily manages to escape. When the Red Army Command learns of Koenig's mission, they dispatch his former student, Kulikov, Ron Perlman, to help Vasily kill him. However, Koenig tricks Kulikov into revealing his position and kills him with a very skillful shot, shaking Vasily's spirits considerably. Khrushchev pressures Danilov to bring the sniper standoff to a conclusion. When Tanya requests to be reassigned to the sniper division, Danilov asks Vasily to discourage her. Vasily attempts to do so, but relents when Tanya tells him how her Hebrew parents were murdered by the Germans. Danilov recruits young local boy Sasha Filipov, Gabriel Thompson, who idolizes Vasily and does small jobs for the Germans in exchange for food, to act as a double agent by passing Koenig false information about Vasily's whereabouts, thus giving Vasily a chance to ambush the major. Vasily sets a trap for Koenig and manages to wound him, but during a second attempt, Vasily falls asleep after many hours, and his sniper log is taken by a looting German soldier. The German command takes the log as evidence of Vasily's death and plans to send Koenig home, but the major does not believe that Vasily is dead. General Friedrich Paulus confiscates Koenig's dog tags to prevent Soviet propaganda from profiting if Koenig is killed and identified. In turn, Koenig gives the general a War Merit Cross that was posthumously awarded to his son, a lieutenant in the 116th Infantry Division, who was killed in the early days of the battle. Koenig tells Satya where he will be next, suspecting that the boy will tell Vasily. Tanya and Vasily have meanwhile fallen in love.